Japan, Part 1. In 1958, fresh with a PhD from Harvard University in social relations, I set out as a social scientist seeking generalization about the family and mental health that would hold true cross-culturally. I chose Japan not because I was a Japan specialist, for my ignorance was vast, but because Japan, of all the modern countries, seemed most different and hence the most critical for testing a hypothesis about modern society. I was convinced that to make meaningful statements about the family and mental health in Japan, I first had to become immersed in Japanese life. By the time my wife and I had been engulfed into 2 years of language study, research, Japanese-style living apart from foreigners, I found myself far more interested in Japan itself than in social science generalization. In my fieldwork reports, Japan's new middle class, I tried to delve into the inner life of Japanese families who were first our research subjects and later our friends, leaving generalizations to the others. For the next 2 decades, I could not satiate my curiosity about Japanese society. I went to Japan almost every year, continued to revisit old friends, read the research reports of others, and kept reorganizing my thoughts each time I taught my course on Japanese society at Harvard University. New mysteries, new subtleties, new dimensions of Japan kept appearing, and its constant change was a seemingly inexhaustible gold mine for intellectual curiosity. In the last several years, however, I have found myself, like other Americans, increasingly preoccupied with what is happening in America. With the decline of our confidence in government, with our difficulty in coping with the problems of such as crime, urban disorganization, unemployment, inflation, and government deficits. When I first returned to the United States from Japan in 1960, I had not even questioned the general superiority of American society and American institutions. In almost every field, we were substantially ahead of Japan. Our capacity for research and creativity was unexcelled. Our natural and human resources seemed more than adequate. By 1975, I found myself, like my Japanese friends, wondering what had happened to America. In the meantime, the country I originally chose to study, for other reason, had come extraordinarily successful. Japan still does not have the world's largest gross national products, nor is it the leading country in the world politically or culturally. Yet the more I observed Japan's success in a variety of fields, the more I became convinced that given its limited resources, Japan has dealt more successfully with more of the basic problems of post-industrial society than any other country. It is in this sense I have come to believe the Japanese are number one. It's a preface by the author, and I'll tell you more about the account in my next videos.